Hello. I'm Brian Naughton. I'm the marketing director with the Greater Wausau Chamber of Commerce. I am sitting here today in the conference room at Northwest Tool and Manufacturing on the west side of Wausau. I'm joined by Allison Dean. Allison, thank you.
Yes, thank you for having me.
We're going to have a conversation here about some of the things that Allison sees as some tips for expo exhibitors. So our Business EXPO, which is a huge deal for us at the Chamber, is coming up on April 19th. That's a Thursday. And the expo, there are some things to do, and there are some things not to do. So I guess Allison, the reason I'm talking to Allison too is Northwest Tool was a recipient of the Best in Show award last year, as voted on by some of her peers. Tell us about last year's booth a little bit.
So last year's booth, we picked a Pick a Duck theme. So we all wore Hawaiian or tropical clothing. We had a big kiddie pool filled with water on the table, and then in the water was ducks. So all these ducks had Northwest Tool, our logo, on them. And on the bottom of some of the ducks were dots, and if you had certain color dots, you'd win certain prizes. We had just an overwhelming amount of people coming to our booth. I think we gave away over 500 ducks. It was kind of a big hit. So
cool. And I missed most of last year's expo, so I didn't get a chance to see it, but I did get to see some video of it. And so congratulations on winning. I know you mentioned that you're going to be back and better than ever this year. And so let's talk a little bit about, you've been to plenty of expos. Do you have a booth that every year you look forward to seeing?
Yes. The Jim Kreshak Jewelers booth is actually the booth that I can't miss every year. They always have some kind of a fun theme. And that's one that, since I've been going to the expo, they always have something cool going on in their booth, whether it's fun games to play or giveaways, or sometimes their staff is just dressed all out in some sort of matching attire that matches their theme. They always do a fantastic job at the expo.
Excuse me. Yeah, they do have a long history of being really kind of at the top of their game at the expo. They won the Best in Show a number of years ago. So yeah, they've been one of the really good ones too. You mentioned giveaways. What's your strategy at Northwest Tool in terms of you're in a booth for the day? For those of you watching that might not be aware, from 9 a.m. until noon, the expo is open just for exhibitors. So exhibitor to exhibitor time. From noon to 5, noon to 5, the expo is open to the public. Do you have a strategy, I guess, in terms of, people give away all kinds of different things at their booths. Sometimes they're big prizes. Sometimes they're small items like a pen or something like that. Do you have a strategy going into the expo for a giveaway?
Yeah, so the expo, our strategy in general for the expo, not even for giveaways, is recognition. We are a business-to-business primarily company, so a lot of the time some of the other chamber members wouldn't really have the opportunity to utilize what we do at Northwest Tool, nor would the general public, but we utilize the expo as a way to kind of raise brand awareness and just recognition of our name. So we like to try to pick a giveaway that people are either going to use or remember. So a couple years ago, we gave away canned koozies with a root beer in each. Who doesn't use a canned koozie? But if you won, you got a root beer in one of our canned koozies. And then last year we did the ducks, and it was funny. A couple months after the expo, I was mentioning to someone where I worked at Northwest Tool. They said, "Oh my gosh, I drive a Jeep, and somebody ducked my Jeep the other day with a Northwest Tool duck." So it just something fun like that they remembered. They had never heard of Northwest Tool, didn't know what we did, but they knew the name because they had seen that product that we gave away. So that's kind of our strategy, is something that's either useful or something that is going to leave like a mark, like, oh, Northwest Tool was the ones who gave away the ducks, so something like that is kind of where we go with our strategy.
Sure.
Plus we like to make it match whatever our theme is for the year. So
absolutely.
With the koozies, I think we were doing like cornhole, so it was like yard games, backyard kind of a theme. Sure. So we did koozies. So
that's good, and that's kind of the fun. That's the fun part of the day itself, and it's the fun of sort of planning for the day. What we hear from a lot of members, and a lot of members I think take this approach too, is depending on, a lot of people are exhibit at the expo for different reasons. You mentioned, sort of just brand awareness. We have other members that are there to make direct sales, and cash and carry type things. We have other members that are there for entirely other reasons. A lot of members will sort of implement different tiers in terms of their giveaways too. You mentioned you had some people that walked away with a can koozie. You had some people that walked away with a can koozie and a root beer.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of our members that'll exhibit, and they will have pens that might be out for people to just kind of walk by and grab. And then maybe underneath their table or behind them, they might have a sort of an upper tier kind of item that they're going to reserve to give away only if there's like a conversation at the expo that they think is going to lead to a sale or some expanded business or something like that. And that's a pretty good strategy, I think. I mean, we enjoy having the public be part of the program. We're excited this year. We're expecting to see more students, college students, than we've ever had before, which will be fun. And so it's important to have something for everybody. But at the same time, you really do want to consider at least having something that's maybe a little bit nicer as far as a giveaway, that you can hand off to somebody that you maybe really have a good conversation with. So that's an approach that we see a lot. Do you have any other sort of do's and don'ts for the expo?
Yeah. So do make it fun. A lot of businesses do take that kind of a fun approach or have some sort of an activity or game at their booths, and those are sometimes the ones that maybe make it a little bit more memorable. If you've never done the expo before or been to the expo, it's super common to have like a box on your table where, if you want to play, you just have to put in your business card and then you can spin the wheel or play whatever game they have. And that's a good strategy if you're looking to get a certain amount of contacts out of the show or get a certain, be able to reach back out to people. So I would say definitely do that. Some don'ts. We actually went to one of the Maximize Your Expo sessions when we first started going to the expo, and one thing that they talked about a lot was don't just sit behind your booth and wait for people to talk to you. Go out and talk to people. So I would say don't sit behind your booth and just kind of wait for people to approach you. Don't be on your phone. Don't leave your booth unattended, and don't just leave it there to speak for itself. Have somebody there. Have somebody who is willing to talk out into the crowd to whoever might be walking by you and ignoring you, and try to get them to come in and start a conversation. So be open, be friendly, and come to have a good time, and obviously have some work done too.
That's right. Those are all great tips. I mean, and those do sort of mirror what we used to talk about in that Maximizing Your Expo program. These videos, and this is the first of several live videos, are really taking the place of that Maximize Your Expo program. Of course, if you have questions about exhibiting at the expo, don't hesitate to reach out to us at the chamber, or talk to maybe another member that has exhibited in the past. I'll mirror exactly what you said. I mean, what you want to do is eliminate any kind of barriers between you and the people that are walking by. A lot of times I'll recommend to people just take that table and push it all the way to the back of your booth. You can still have all your stuff laid out on it, but at least you can be out in front of it. You can draw people in, have a conversation, then maybe direct them if you've got some printed materials or items to give away, any of those sorts of things. If it's behind you, then you sort of force that interaction, and it works well. But you're right, sitting down, being on your phone or on your laptop, those are some of the ways that it makes it very easy for people to just kind of walk on by. So I would warn people against that. Well, Allison, thank you. I will mention too something really cool. Northwest Tool is a sponsor of our Business Month programming, which includes the expo. So we thank you for that. There are still sponsorship opportunities available. If that's something you're interested in, reach out to me at the chamber, and we can fill you in on what options are out there. Northwest Tool has been a recipient of the Small Business of the Year Award, which maybe you can see over my shoulder. But that program is also part of our Business Month. So just a quick Business Month rundown. Tuesday, the 2nd of April, is the Civics Bee, which will be held on the UWSP at Wausau campus. It's the first time we've held that event. Think spelling bee, but for civics. And this is with junior high age students participating. So it's a cool competition. We've got the Small Business of the Year Awards on Tuesday, April 9th. That's kind of a supper time program. Melissa Langben and Eric Morotek from Channel 9 will be the MCs for that program, and we'll name 2 more recipients in 2 categories. And then the Expo and the Fun at Expo event, which follows, those are coming up on the April 18th, and that's a Thursday. And there's information about all this stuff on wausauchamber.com. So thanks again, Allison. I hope my beard wasn't scraping against my microphone too much. I felt it a couple times, but appreciate your time with us, and we'll see you at the Expo again.
Thank you.